Hello everyone, my name is Beckett and welcome back to the channel. And today in Division 2 we are going to be going over the latest State of the Game podcast. We have more news about TU12. It's getting closer and closer. I have PTS dates. We're going to have 2 different PTS, so hopefully we won't have such a bad launch like we did with TU11. And we also are going to go over all the new exotics, new gear sets, and new brand sets. It's a lot to go over, so if you love skill builds, you better stick around. But before we begin, if you enjoy the content, smash that subscribe button. And if you like the video, hit that like button. It really helps. We're a small channel, but we're getting bigger and bigger every day. All right, first off, let's hop into the PTS. It is going to be launching in 2 separate phases, and it's going to be a little more spread out, and this is a good thing, and I will get to that in just a second. But the first PTS is going to be starting this Friday, Friday the 13th. Yes, a very lucky day. You'll be able to download it Thursday. Sadly, we can only do this if we are on PC, but everyone still give your feedback about the game, push it to the developers, and hopefully things will change. We are also going to be getting a second PTS around November 27th, and that's going to run for a week. So like I said, I think they're trying to spread this out so we don't have so many issues, so we don't have to deal with 3 or 4 patches fixing Summit when all this should have been fixed out and flattened out before it even launched in TU11, and we wouldn't have the issues that we have right now. Now, if you've never done a PTS, you're going to want to make sure you have enough room on your computer to download a second copy of Division 2. One will be the regular copy and one will be the PTS copy. Now, I just want to make sure anything you do while you're in the PTS does not carry over to the main game, just so you don't get mad like, oh, I got this exotic and now I can't get it no more. Even if it's just a regular drop, you're never going to see that loot again. Now, if you're still in a leveling phase or still in that early progression phase, I would say just avoid the PTS and wait for it to come out and focus on your character at hand, because you don't want to get put farther behind than you already are. And if you're sitting like at 100 shade level or you just capped, the last thing you need to worry about is gear that hasn't even come out yet. Just focus on the game at hand. Now, when it comes to content in the PTS, we are not going to be able to test out any of the new missions, new global events, or the global event vendor. The main thing we are going to be testing out is the optimization station, so you'll be able to go out and farm and see how much. Is it too many materials? Is it too much? Too little? We're going to be figuring out that stuff for the developers. Yes, we got to do their job. Oh well, we get to test out the game. We're also going to be able to test out the new exotics, the new gear set, new brand set, and we have a lot of named weapon and items. I'm not too happy about them, but we will get into that, and hopefully we see some buffs. That's why we need everyone in the PTS, so we can see, oh, these things are underperforming or they are overperforming. From what I see, it looks like a lot of items are going to be underperforming, but we will just have to wait and see. Now let's hop into the fun stuff and go through all these exotics. So the first exotic we're going to look at is the new AR. Now, I was hoping it was going to be a run and gun talent build, but it is a skill build, and it's actually not a bad one, so I'm a little excited, and I'm kind of happy to try this out. So it is the capacitor. This is the one we get through the milestones, the different challenges that we have to complete in the summit, and the talent it comes with is capacitance, shooting enemy build stacks to a cap up to 50. So just like the striker, but we don't lose stacks, and each stack grants 1% skill damage after 5 seconds. Stacks decay 1 per second. So we're going to want to stay in combat, push, 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 my favorite type of build. And for each skill tier, you gain 5% weapon damage. So we could have ideally up to 30% weapon damage. Not bad at all, and I could see this working with a memento build, and I'm actually very excited this because I love those hybrid like full red or half red skill tier builds. Add in future perfection and you are good to go. All right, now the next exotic, we have a new shotgun, and this is a 612, I believe, so like the MOP, the named 612 shotgun. And the talent it comes with, every time you shoot an enemy, not every time you land a pellet, but every time you shoot an enemy, each stack, well, 1 stack will give a poison, the 3rd stack will give a disorient, and the 6th stack will give a shock, and the 7th stack, everyone takes 20% extra damage from all sources. Now, multiple players can combine the Scorpio stacks, and it works differently in PvP because, well, it would probably just break the game, and we do not want to see PvPers already more upset than they already are. So the 1st stack will do a bleed, 3rd stack will do a disrupt, and 6th will do an ensnare. Now this shotgun, I think it's just bad all around. I think you can just pop on a Hasbro builds. We already have those, what is it, the backfire? Yeah, those backfire, sorry, I can't talk. Those backfire Hasbro builds, and I think you can just negate this. You see that going around, just go and switch out your gear real quick, and you're fine. And I think they just need to adjust this a little bit. Maybe make it so it's a debuff that can't be mitigated by Hasbro, but I don't really see this getting used in PvE that often. Now, if you guys are excited about it, let me know how you are going to use it down in the comments. Now we have an exotic holster. Now this doesn't look too bad, and I'm kind of excited to be using this with like a hardwire seeker build. Generates a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second. After 10 seconds, it hits the max stack of 10, and the buff transfers to your other skills. After a further 10 seconds, the buff switches back to the first one. Now, from what I'm reading, it sounds like the stacks will stay up all the time. Won't be a bad thing if that's the way it is. Now, if they have to build up, it's going to be a little harder, but this would work perfect for like a mortar hardwire build. You drop your seekers, you have that 10 stacks, it's going to flip over. You pull out the mortar, boom, boom, boom. As soon as you get your stacks back up on your seeker, you throw it out. I think the synergy is going to work really good because we're going to have a 10-second seeker, 10 seconds on that, and we can just rotate in and out. Maybe it won't work, but those are my plans, and we'll see how that works. We also have a new name sniper rifle. It comes with Future Perfection, so that will be the same one that's on Mechanical Animal. Not a bad. If you love running Future Perfection, I love running it as a run and gun, but for those marksman people, there you go. Now we also have Test Subject. This is an assault rifle with Perfectly in Sync. Now Perfectly in Sync, best talent in the game. I don't care what you guys say. I think it is one of the best talents ever made, at least for DPS overall. And if you add just a drone or a turret, it doesn't have to do that much damage. You're just getting 40% extra weapon damage. Name one talent on a gun that can do that. I don't think there is much. Now we have a battery pack. Now this is another name backpack, and it is perfectly calculated. Not a fan of it. Just reduces skill cooldowns every time you get a kill. I've never used it. Don't really like the talent, so I'm gonna have to go and pass on that. Bonus in a sec, but it comes with Perfectly Skilled. Skill kills have a 30% chance to reset skill cooldowns. I really like this, and it works with a lot of things, especially if you just have a yellow build and you're just kind of working your build in, but after you get the right gear sets or where you want it. All right, now let's look at the new brand set. It is called Empress International, and the brand set bonuses are 10% skill health, 10% skill damage, and 10% skill efficiency. Now this 3-piece, you're going to see it in a lot of builds. Out of there, 10% skill efficiency is so huge. So every 1% of skill efficiency adds 1% to skill damage, skill haste, repair skills, anything that is affected with skill. I think it even affects status effects. Correct me if I'm wrong. So ideally, we would have 10% everywhere. With something like that, you could ideally just take skill haste out of certain builds and use it in that aspect. All right, next we have the new gear set, and it is called Rigor, and the 2-piece is 15% skill haste, 3-piece is 15% skill duration, and the 4-piece is Tend and Befriend. Interacting with your deployed skills grants the skill 25% skill damage for 10 seconds. This buff cannot be refreshed. Interactions include using or deploying a skill, changing the skill's target, or healing the skill. Kind of like using or deploying. It's kind of the same thing as Hardwires. I feel like they got lazy with this set, and the 25% skill damage is just not enough for a 4-piece in my opinion. We're going to look at the chest and other thing, but I think they need to be adjusted. I think for it to even compete with Hardwire, now this is my opinion, take whatever you want to the bank, I think it should not be 25% skill damage. I think it should be 25% amplified skill damage, or just amplified damage in general. Give us that extra multiplier. Otherwise, I really do not see a reason on switching over from Hardwire. I can get more damage no matter what the chest or backpack talent is. Now let's look at these talents. So one of the talents, I believe this is the chest one, increase the damage buff from 25 to 50%. Now that is nice, but I think the amplified damage is still gonna be much more, because ideally a lot of times we just can't use those chest or those backpack talents. And then we have the other one, complete uptime. Canceling your skills will reset their cooldown. Like I said, this is just this is hardwire. I don't want to try to get mad, but this is really upsetting me because they just made hardwire and changed the words. Now, other than that, we do have a new skill variant, and again, I think it needs to be worked. Now, this is a single target pulse, and it will highlight weak points on a target, and depending on your skill tier, that means how many weak points are, and this will apply to all players, so all players will see the weak points, and shooting the weak points does an extra amount of damage. I'm sorry, but I just don't think this is a good idea. It just seems way too niche. It may work in certain scenarios, but it's not something you can throw on all the time and work like in any scenario. Like I can throw my Banshee Pulse on and I can use my blinder, and if I'm running run and gun, I know those will work for any situation. This won't always work, and it might just be a waste of skill, but we'll have to get into the PTS and figure that out. But that's all we have for that. So tomorrow, make sure you download your PTS file so you can get in there and test out all these new items. I will be in there, and as we go on, I will be letting you guys know how the PTS, how everything feels, and hopefully I will see you guys in there. And if you're looking for build videos or just any tutorial videos on Division 2, check out my channel, and I will also leave a link for the build playlist. Go ahead and check that out. Not all of them are meta, some of them are just fun, and we love to have fun. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.